I'm getting ready to do an interview with Chelsey Green, the Green Violinist. She's also Chelsey Green of the Green Project. We're here in the Clarice Smith Performing Arts Center here at the University of Maryland College Park. I'm so excited to do this interview. I've been waiting to do it for a really long time, and I hope that you all enjoy what I have to share. Hello and welcome to Spilling the Tea with Ari E. We have the incomparable, beautiful Chelsey Green here. I'm so excited to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Okay, so we're going to get started with the interview and find out what's going on with Miss Chelsey Green. So I like to start off with things that are a little out of the box, just to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is, how would you describe yourself in 5 words or less?
5 words or less, okay. That's hard. I'm gonna count. I'm gonna use my fingers.
Okay.
So I can follow the rules. Okay, passionate.
Okay.
Dedicated.
All right.
Determined. God-fearing. And I'm trying to see what I want this last one to be. Creative.
I like that.
I would say creative.
Who do you think your musical inspirations are? I know that you've been playing for a really long time. There have to be a slew of people. I'd love to know who some of them are.
Well, first my dad.
Okay.
Absolutely. First my father was a large influence on everything that I did when I was growing up. I took violin lessons starting from the age of 4.
Wow.
So I studied with some very dedicated teachers who I still love to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love classical music, I love non-classical music. I just like to kind of blend everything together. So, you know, you have the Rachmaninoff and the Tchaikovsky and Beethoven mixed with Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
And Quincy Jones and Herbie Hancock, just some iconic people.
That's awesome. All right. If you could have dinner with 5 people, dead or living, who would they be and why?
Oh goodness, dinner with 5 people. Let's see. That is hard. Okay. I'm going to say first. I mean, this is so crazy. You've thrown me off with this question. I'm gonna say Jesus first.
That's awesome. I love that. Wow.
I'll say Jesus because I feel like I would learn a lot of things. Just a lot about life and everything else, just in between. That would just blow my mind. And then probably after that, this is a hard act to follow. I would probably say definitely Michael Jackson. My mom loved Michael Jackson. Loves him. So I would just like to hear what it was like just to be in his life that young.
Sure.
And just be immersed in having to do those things, like from being a very small child.
Sure.
You know, and what it was like to grow up with that. Probably I would like to have a conversation with Whitney Houston.
Good one.
I think that would be an incredible, I think that would be a great dinner conversation also. Golly, Ray Charles.
Good one.
I think, you know, I would love to learn how he played piano, like how he came to learn how to play piano.
Did you see the movie?
I did.
Really?
I did. So that was a very revealing, you know, just kind of look into his life, you know, very, very early on. And let's see, I think I have one more.
so I lost count.
Yes, I think I have one more. I'm trying to see. Probably, I don't know. Probably like, this is gonna be a far-reaching one too, but probably Harriet Tubman.
Oh, interesting. I used to love Harriet Tubman when I was little.
I mean, just because to have that kind of story and to have that much passion and just what it must have been to be such an innovator in a situation where people were trying to stifle your creativity and intelligence, how she overcame that. I would be really interested to see how her thought process was.
I've asked a lot of people that question, and that was probably the best one.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
You said you've been playing since 4.
So,
where have you studied?
Well, I took private lessons in Houston. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. And I took private lessons in Houston with Karen Wilkson, who was a member of the Houston Ballet Orchestra. I took lessons with her for about five or so years, and then I took lessons from another woman, Mika Hostler, in Houston, and I studied with her through the rest of my high school career. And then I went to pursue my undergraduate degree at the University of Texas at Austin. And studied viola there, and then studied viola for my master's degree at the Peabody Conservatory. And now I'm finishing my doctorate here at the University of Maryland.
Yay, when will you be done?
This year.
Oh, great.
So yes, I'm very excited. Very excited.
That's awesome. And what is your major here at your
my main concentration is viola pedagogy, so basically just teaching viola at the college level.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I know that you've performed from the likes of Stevie Wonder. You just did that,
yes,
right?
Incredible.
Last year you performed with Carolyn
Malachi?
Yes,
Carolyn Malachi.
We're in a music video with her.
Yeah.
What were those experiences like for you?
It's, first of all, every experience is just so different that it's really not like something that you can prepare for, really. It's kind of just, you go in there and what happens, happens. And it's always something really fun and really magical. And I remember the Stevie one just a couple weeks ago. I guess that's most, apparent on my brain.
Sure.
I've always wanted to play in like a stadium type of concert.
Right.
And to just go into the Verizon Center and all you see is just seats everywhere around you. And, for Stevie Wonder to make the Verizon Center feel like a very small, intimate venue was something so incredible to me. Like, you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. And he was just talking, and you could just tell how intently people were listening to everything he was saying, and he was just really sharing his personal self. And I thought that was so authentic. I was like, somebody of his magnitude and his fame level, I would just be losing my mind, which I would.
How did that opportunity come about?
Well, I'm a member of the American Federation of Musicians, so that's the union, basically, the classical union, and so I often sub with symphonies in the area or other types of orchestral groups in the area, and it was a contractor through the union that contracted that performance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I can only imagine what that would be like.
Yes.
So I've had the opportunity to hear you play twice.
Okay.
In undergrad at Mount St. Mary's University. Shout out to the Mount.
Yes.
I know what it's like to hear Chelsey Green and the Green Project play and just kill. But
Thank you.
How would you describe what it would be like to go to a Chelsey Green concert for somebody who has not yet had the opportunity to do so?
I would say that it's probably gonna be a surprise.
Okay.
And that's usually what I just like to kind of keep it at. I think some people come to our show with what they think it's gonna be, and I love that because I love to hear after the show they're like, yeah, somebody got me this ticket and said that we going to see a violin player, and I was like, don't nobody got time for no violin player. And then you started playing Beyonce, and I was like, oh my God, I know that song. So it's like, I think usually, even if you already know that we're gonna play Beyonce, we're probably not gonna play it the way you think that we're gonna play it either.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we have fun when we prepare the show, but on the night of the show, we don't even know what's exactly gonna happen.
Sure.
Like we're very just kind of on the spot, and we improvise a lot in the moment. So that always keeps it really exciting.
So what's the craziest thing that you think has happened on stage, like during a performance?
The craziest thing, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of sometimes I blank out of it and just kind of go on autopilot there. But I don't know. Crazy
fans.
You know what? We did have a talker who was just very conversational the whole night. Just like I would be introducing a song, you know, well, this next song that we're gonna play is an original tune. Oh, really? It's an original?
No.
When did you write it? That just busted out.
Like you guys are best friends.
Like we're besties.
Wow.
Hashtag BFF. I didn't know. It was new to me. It was news to me.
Right.
So there was a minute there where I was like, okay, well, I'll try to go with it. I'll try to, you know, just incorporate it and play along. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
And then there was a moment where I was like, yeah, we need to go ahead and let her. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's let her exit. Thank you. She was enjoying herself.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that she enjoyed herself.
I am too.
Yeah.
Just, you know, didn't need the megaphone part to
Right,
either.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, okay, Chelsey Green. Obviously, that's your name.
It is.
What does the color green represent for
That's a
you
great
as an
question.
artist, or like?
Yeah, well, of course, yes, green is first my last name. So I use that as kind of my personal brand or my personal stamp on everything that we do. Because even if we're playing something that's familiar or something that people may know, we try to put our own twist on it and, you know, try to make it a little special. And then the other part to green is green to me represents something new and something fresh, or something that is, something very just organic and natural. And that's what we try to do with our approach to these different musical styles, which is really fun to me. And, you know, of course, there has to be this element of nature friendly, which I certainly am. I mean, I am that girl that will find a bottle in the parking lot and find a napkin and pick it up and take it all the way to the next recycling bin that I find, just because, you know, we need to save our earth.
Yeah, and I'm sure the earth thanks you.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so.
We appreciate it. Do you have the most challenging part of being an instrumentalist? Of, you know, maybe, you know, people not knowing like what it is, or what it entails?
I mean, I think a lot of it now is that it's so hard to find time kind of for yourself.
Sure.
And I always tell younger students that are especially musicians or instrumentalists or singers or anybody that's trying to work on an artistic craft, I always try to tell them that now is the time that you have to focus on bettering your craft and practicing and being dedicated in that way. You have all day to pick up your instrument. Why would you waste your life by looking at these crazy reality shows or whatever? You know, because now I just wish that I had time back.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can't practice as much as I want to, or, you know, I'm running a business at this point. So, you know, it's a lot of meetings and phone calls and contracts and this and that, you know, you are responsible for. And, you know, that has to juggle with school and, you know, a job and, you know, managing family commitments and stuff like that. So, you know, I wish I kind of had that time back to really say, you know, I just want to practice for 3.5 hours right now. And yeah, that ain't happening anymore. But when I do get those moments, that just makes it all that much more sweet for me to say, oh, yes, I actually get to spend a day with my instrument. It can get overwhelming, and you know, the thing is, you have to, I always say it's important to practice and it's important to perform, but in the middle of that, it's also important to practice performing. And a lot of people forget that step or don't think it's important. But that makes the stage experience when people have bought tickets to your show or you are trying to audition somewhere,
right.
It just completely transforms that entire stage experience. So that kind of stuff, I enjoy those moments where I get to call the band together, you know, every other week or so and say, y'all, let's just rehearse for like 4 hours straight and just be, you know, just have fun and be creative.
Sweet. Okay, just a few more questions.
Okay.
I know that you mentioned, you know, the opportunity that God has given you to be able to express your talent and the gifts that He's given you, and you know, minister through your strings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to know what part, in your own words, does your faith play in everything that you're doing? You know, as an artist and as a student.
Yes, a huge part, because God is such a divine organizer, and the way that things fall in place is something that, especially as I get older, there's nothing other. It couldn't be anything else but God. So when I was finishing my master's degree, I was very emotionally disturbed because I didn't know what was happening. Like I just was like, okay, I'm kind of in a place where I don't know what's going on. I know what I want to do. I know what I have the money to do. And you know, the reality was kind of like you're probably gonna have to move back home and work it out and just, you know, kind of leave the East Coast behind.
Sure.
And I was kind of sad about that because I had really established some connections here and some networks, and I was really excited about working in the area. And I came to the University of Maryland for a summer music festival, and the conductor was the orchestra conductor here at Maryland, and he gave me a scholarship to come and do my doctorate. So that kind of stuff makes me know that this is God saying, do what you should with the gift that I have bestowed upon you, and use it for the good of me, and to share this. Because I am giving you this path to get this done. So everything to me is a completely mind-blowing opportunity just to share what He's given me, because it's not mine.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this, you know, for Him, through Him. So that is how I think it has to be the first at every turn, because you want Him to be the leader.
Holy Spirit led.
Absolutely.
It's always an adventure, huh?
It is. And I mean, and there's gonna be some rocky road. I mean, it's tough. It's hard because especially when you're kind of, you know, a unit of one. You know, I don't really have a team per se, but I do have awesome people that help me get things done. And you know, but when you're kind of the one driving everything, it's hard to juggle. You know, just between all of your responsibilities.
Right. So you have this new project out.
I do.
Can we talk about it?
We can talk about
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
It's called The Green Room,
The
right?
Green Room,
Okay.
yes.
Talk a little bit about that. I'd love to hear. I've heard snippets, but I have not heard the full thing. So
Okay. And I brought one for you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It is a blend of originals and kind of some arrangements that we've made of some jazz standards as well as other contemporary favorites. We have an arrangement of People Make the World Go Round on there by the Stylistics, which is a lot of fun. And I'm actually singing on the record, which is a surprise for a lot of people. Yeah, so we just wanted to make this new project to kind of show where we are right now and kind of what we're doing right now and what we're hoping to move more towards in the future. And we even made the Billboard chart with the record.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you. I was blown away. I was like, what? We made the contemporary jazz Billboard chart at number 22.
Awesome. And how long do you know? I'm sure you're still tracking. How long have you been on the chart?
We were on Billboard for a week, which was a huge deal for me.
Absolutely.
But we've been on the CMJ, which is like a more jazz. They monitor kind of satellite and non-satellite radio.
Okay.
So we've been getting a lot of non-satellite radio play with that, and we've stayed on the chart for four straight weeks.
Wow. Oh, Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
so exciting.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
so happy for
Thank you, and thank you all for listening and
Yes.
requesting it on the radio, and we appreciate that. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song on the CD? I
You know,
hard,
it's
they're
so
all like your
hard.
babies.
Yeah, they're all my babies, but I would have to say Pizzicato Part 3. So we had a first record that came out in 2012. It was called Still Green, and that had two
Love that
versions.
record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. It had two versions of Pizzicato on it, and then this record has a third version, and it has to be my absolute favorite because it started by an idea from my boyfriend who started the arrangement that I wrote on top of, and then we ended up making it a tribute to an aunt that just passed away. So that was a really special piece for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love stories behind the music.
And I always
That's awesome.
say, you know, people always ask me, Chelsey, do you have stories about your music? I was like, just because it doesn't have lyrics
Right.
doesn't mean it's without a story.
Exactly.
So it's really,
love
we
that.
always have stories. Yeah.
If you could give yourself your younger self, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Wow. One piece of advice? I would have to say enjoy yourself. Because so many things we create so much stress or tension around when that's not necessary. At the end of the day, when it's all done and when everything happened fine, all that extraness that happened, you know, before that is not even necessary. So I think I would say enjoy yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
My mom always says that too. Just enjoy the season that you're in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's important.
Yeah, I think so too. What about for an instrumentalist who, you know, is watching you, or you know, other instrumentalists that are trying to get into a little bit of what you're doing? What would you tell them?
I would definitely encourage them to focus on finding their voice. And I know for classical musicians, we struggle with that sometimes because the tradition of learning Western European classical music is so strict. And there's a lot of technical devices that we need to learn. There's a lot of repertoire that is traditionally played a certain way, and you know, there's expectation for you to perform it in a certain fashion.
Sure.
And I think sometimes that can hold back their own ingenuity and their own creativity around their own personal musical ideas. So I would just encourage musicians to just find their own artistry and follow that voice and know that what you have is unique because it's yours.
I love that.
Yeah.
This has been such an amazing interview. Like, this is really a dream come true for me. I know I told you before we started, before we started getting into the questions and things, I've been studying your career for 2.5 years, and I've had my questions for a few years, and so this is really a dream come true. I'm so glad that you were able to hang out with me for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Tell us where we can find you online, social media,
Yes.
anything.
We're on all the social medias.
Okay.
Facebook, the Chelsey Green and the Green Project on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Green Violinist and at Green Project TGP. We're on Instagram at Green Violinist. And you can also find anything and everything about us on my website at www.chelsegreen.com. That's CHELSEY, green like the color, .com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you so
I hope
much.
we can hang out again.
Absolutely, we have to.
Absolutely.